Within the ancient walls of the unseen university, magic is an academic pursuit, strictly for the men. While the young prodigy Simon is hailed as the future of wizardry, a girl named Esk is relegated to sweeping the floors, despite carrying a raw power the faculty can't begin to comprehend. Simon discovered our world isn't a solid constant. It rests on a fragile membrane of probability, a thin geometric grid separating reality from crushing darkness. But his theorizing accidentally pierces it, allowing anomalies to tear through, signaling parasitic creatures from the dungeon dimensions. By mapping the universe so perfectly, Simon has turned his own mind into a cosmic beacon. He has proven that in the wrong hands, the mere act of understanding the universe can be the very thing that destroys it. The breach manifests instantly in the university library as a violent magical storm. Books, saturated with centuries of stray spells, tear themselves off the shelves, swirled into a whirlwind by the pressure of the void pushing through. As reality overlaps with the void, the physical world begins to lose its consistency. Beneath the wizard's feet, the ancient oak floorboards momentarily dissolve into freezing silver sand. The chaos only ends when Esk's staff, moving with a protective instinct of its own, strikes Simon, physically jarring him and snapping the connection to the void. The storm vanishes, but Simon is left in a deep, unresponsive coma. The breach is closed, but the war isn't over. Simon's consciousness has been stolen, dragged into the dungeon dimensions. If not rescued, the creatures will use his mind to tear a permanent hole in reality. This looming disaster brings Granny Weatherwax, a village witch with a very different view of magic, into direct conflict with the university's head, Arch-Chancellor Cutangle. Their clash of egos is as explosive as the magic they wield. Their disagreement quickly escalates into a breathtaking shape-shifting duel. In a blur of motion, a massive saber-toothed tiger mid-pounce dissolves instantly into a diving eagle, trying to overwhelm the other with transformative power. But the energy of their flashy duel acts as a dinner bell. The more magic they hurl at each other, the louder the cosmic buzzing of the dungeon dimensions grows, drawing the parasites directly to the source of the heat. In this specific crisis, traditional magical combat is a death sentence. Wielding raw power only feeds the void, forcing these two rivals to realize that their strength is currently their greatest weakness. While the adults fly a desperate broomstick mission over a flooded river to retrieve the tools they need, Esk prepares for a journey that no broomstick can take. Cutangle tries to manage the environment through sheer force, focusing his will until a raging, muddy river instantly crystallizes into jagged, solid ice. But Esk doesn't fight the physical world. She bypasses it. By tapping into the ancient, stony consciousness of the university building itself, she manages to project her mind out of her body. Her astral form plunges past the edges of the world, flying beyond the great cosmic turtle that carries the disc, and dives headlong into the dungeon dimensions. The adult masters are still fighting a physical battle in the river below, but Esk has reached the true battlefield, a realm where ideas are the only things that are real. The dungeon dimensions are a sprawling, freezing desert of silver sand. It is a starless wasteland populated by towering, patchwork creatures that look like they were assembled from the discarded scraps of a nightmare. Inside this void, Simon is being harvested. The creatures are forcing his genius to convert the complexities of the universe into fragile, crystalline numbers that they can easily consume. Esk finds that magical spells are useless here, so she tries something far more literal. She charges the auras and begins kicking them in the shins. To her surprise, the physical shock causes the living nightmares to temporarily deflate. But while physical disruption buys them time, it won't be enough. Force alone can't win a battle of attrition against an infinite swarm of living concepts. As the creatures swarm back in, they ignore Esk's physical presence, focusing instead on the magical potential radiating from her mind. They aren't trying to fight her, they are waiting for her to act. Every exertion of magic she makes provides exactly the energy they need to sustain themselves. Esk prepares for a final stand, summoning her staff until it crackles with blinding bolts of solid lightning. The massive display of power acts as irresistible bait, drawing every monster in the void toward her. Then she does the one thing the parasites aren't prepared for. Instead of releasing the spell, she simply stops. She opens her hands and dismisses her magic, letting the staff vanish into nothingness. In a universe where absolute power attracts absolute destruction, the greatest strength isn't the ability to cast the biggest spell. It's possessing the power of a god and having the wisdom to keep your weapon sheathed.